Mai te tihi o Montserrat ki te moana hirangi o mā Mediterraneo, no mai, piki mai, haere mai, ate marie, kia koutou katoa. Bon dia and welcome to the official press conference ahead of the highly anticipated Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup match. Starting tomorrow, our two finalists, defenders Emirates Team New Zealand and challenger of record Ineos Britannia, will go head-to-head in a fiercely contested series. That series will be made up of 13 races, with the first team to score 7 points winning the old mug. So here we go. It's Emirates Team New Zealand up against Ineos Britannia for the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. As we know, there is no second, and tomorrow the fight for first begins.
101.4 by 103.6.
Ignition sequence start.
The world's most magnificent sailing machine.
Apollo 11, this is Houston.
5,
The premier sailing trophy of the world.
Booster on.
4,
The spirit of hard-fought but friendly rivalry.
3,
The world's greatest yachting classic is on.
2,
We are about to take off for the America's Cup.
1.
Now, the cup match.
We have liftoff.
You're well on your way now.
Welcome to Barcelona. We are go for launch on the 37th edition of the America's Cup. This is a historic moment. The last time we had a British challenger was 5 years before man walked on the moon.
The English challenger Sovereign in the 19th International Challenge match for the America's Cup.
The defenders have the chance of becoming the first team in the modern era to win the Cup for the third time. Just making it to this moment is an achievement in itself. Of the 6 teams who arrived in Barcelona, 4 have already gone home.
Orient Express Racing depart Barcelona. Switzerland's America's Cup dream is over. The magic has gone today. It's Italy versus Great Britain and the Louis Vuitton Cup final.
Very close, sir. Go hard. Come on, boys. We're going to the car.
Ineos Britannia rolls the waves to the Mediterranean. They win the Louis Vuitton Cup.
The last time we were in the America's Cup match was 1964. The fact that Britain's never won the America's Cup, that's what drives us and motivates us. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But in my experience, when you get those in life, don't be scared. Step up, take it on and give it everything you got.
Their opponents have had less time on the Barcelona racetrack, but they've been watching closely from the sidelines.
The defender gets to race against the best of the rest. We've been preparing for a fight right from the beginning. We're expecting a super tight competition. I'm sure it's going to be one hell of a battle out there.
Will the Cup return to its spiritual home in Great Britain? Or will New Zealand's grip on this ancient trophy grow tighter still? Whatever happens, one thing's for sure. At speeds of over 100 kilometers an hour, this will be a race like we've never seen before. This is the America's Cup.
We have a go for liftoff.
We'll now bring into the room the America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand, and to honour the moment, they will be joined by Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei. So up on stage for Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, we have skipper and helmsman Peter Burling and helmsman Nathan Alderidge. For challenger of record, we have skipper and helmsman Sir Ben Ainsley and helmsman Dylan Fletcher. What a moment. Our Two teams up on stage with the America's Cup, and I think that was a very special way to start. So, Pete, I'll start with you on that. What an incredible moment. Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei bringing you in there with the America's Cup that you're going to defend tomorrow. How special was that moment? And I guess, how do you feel coming to Barcelona with the support of New Zealand well and truly behind you?
Yeah, incredibly special moment and incredibly exciting time. I mean, we've had, as a team, such an amazing relationship with Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei for a very long time, and to have them welcome us in here today is incredibly special. But to be honest, we're just looking forward to getting out there and getting racing underway tomorrow.
Well, I'll jump over to Ineos Britannia with a question for Sir Ben Ainsley. Firstly, congratulations on the Louis Vuitton Cup Finals victory. And now the moment, 60 years since Great Britain has competed in the America's Cup match. How special is that for you? And what is the pressure like having so much history on the line here?
Yeah, thank you. It's a really proud moment for us as proud Brits. We have a very proud sporting and maritime heritage in Britain, and the America's Cup is the one thing that's always been missing from our trophy cabinet. So this is an incredible opportunity for our team, but at the same time, we're coming up against incredible defenders who are going for a third win in a row, and we know that that's the ultimate challenge. And in a way, for us, there's nothing to lose and everything to gain. So we're fully up for that and really excited about what's ahead.
And I guess for you personally, Ben, I mean, you've had an incredible career and you're a very proud Brit. For you, do you kind of define your career on trying to win this trophy for the first time for your country?
Yes and no. I've been really fortunate to have won the Cup before, but like you say, not with Britain. But it's not really about me, it's about the team. We know that the America's Cup is the ultimate team game, and that's, like I said, that's what motivates us as an organisation. We've been going for 10 years now on this mission, if you like, to get ourselves into the final. Again, what a great opportunity, and we're going to give it everything we got.
Jumping back to Nathan Alderidge, you're facing the British, who have just been through a hard-fought series win against Luna Rossa. I mean, they absolutely owned the pre-starts, I think it's fair to say, and that led to potentially the defining moments in that final. How critical do you think the pre-starts are going to be in the America's Cup match, and do you think that the team that wins the most pre-starts will win the America's Cup?
Yeah, well, as everyone saw, the Louis Vuitton Cup final was a great event, and some amazing battles in the pre-start and around the course as well. So, we've been watching pretty closely what Ben and Dylan and the team have been up to, trying to study their moves, trying to understand counter moves, and I'm sure they'll be trying to guess what we're going to do come tomorrow as well. So I think we've seen this racing. The boats are incredibly close in terms of the performance, and the start's going to be really critical. So I think both teams are going to put a lot of effort into their starting execution, and we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow.
And Dylan Fletcher, coming over to you, this is your first ever America's Cup campaign, and you're helming an AC75 in the America's Cup match, and that is just the 60 years of history going to this moment for Great Britain. Is this a pinch yourself moment? I mean, how surreal is this for you right now?
I think, as Ben said, everyone within the team is excited on the opportunity we've got ahead. It's been a long time coming, a lot of hard work, and we're just looking forward to the fight and the opportunity we've got ahead.
Question back to you now, Pete. I mean, looking at these two AC75s, Taihoro and Rita, I mean, they're different boats, but everyone is expecting a tight battle. We've seen different boats being able to be really competitive across the course. I mean, where do you see the sweet spots in these two teams and these two boats? Looking at the forecasts ahead for the weekend, I suppose, are you happy with that forecast? Who do you think's got the edge looking at those conditions?
I think that's the intrigue of the America's Cup, isn't it? You don't really get to know until you line up and go off the first start. But yeah, I mean, we're really happy with the package we've put together. I'm sure the British should be really happy with the package they've put together. Obviously, it's different looking boats, but probably going reasonably similar speed, and it'll make for one awesome competition.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we're going to open it up to the floor now. But before we do have a coin toss that we need to do to determine who's going to be starting on port entry side tomorrow. So I've got a coin here. Pretty simple, really. We've got a tails, which is represented by a kiwi bird from 1972, this coin. And then we've got heads on there. So If it's a tails, it will be Emirates Team New Zealand starting on port. If it's heads, it will be Ineos Britannia starting on port. Oh, wow. Ben, what is it?
Can't see from here. What have we got? Is that tails?
Yeah, it's a Kiwi bird. That's the tails. Just wanted to make sure. So, Emirates Team New Zealand, you'll be starting from port entry, race 1 tomorrow, and then the teams will alternate from there.
Lisette Raymer from Stuff New Zealand. Ben, I just wondered what it was like for you to face Ngāti Whātua when you walked in just now, and if any part of you is feeling intimidated by the challenge ahead.
Well, firstly, what an honour and a privilege, really, to be here. And we all know so much about the great New Zealand culture and Maori culture and how that's influenced sports in New Zealand. And so, yeah, again, real honour and a privilege to see that. Not really intimidated, to be honest, but it was a lot of fun.
Hi, Blue Robinson, Seahorse Magazine. A question for Nathan, and if I may, after he's finished, pose that exact same question for Dylan. Nathan, you have a great deal of respect for your co-helm. What do you think has been the greatest challenge working in that partnership to get you to where you are both today?
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. I have a great amount of respect for Pete and have a lot of respect for Ben and Dylan over there as well. Driving one of these boats is incredibly difficult and challenging. And, the biggest challenge for me is to learn how to sail the boat as fast as Pete can sail the boat. And I've had a fantastic couple of years sailing every day with Pete, Blair, Andy and the whole team, and receiving heaps of encouragement from Pete, and then getting to a level where we start to share the knowledge between the two of us and try and make the boat go fast. I think it's an amazing opportunity to have two helmsmen on America's Cup boats and, developing a communication skill set that makes sure we race well, but also making sure we make the boat perform well. So, for me, it's been an amazing opportunity to be here today. And, I've appreciated all the kind words I get from Pete every day we go sailing. It's been a good ride, and we're looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, I think the challenge has really, for me, been learning the match racing and trying to understand Ben's decision-making. And as you see with these dual helmsman boats, it's hard to see everything that's going on, so the communication is key. And it feels as though we've been building momentum through the entire series, and as you've seen, the pre-starts are getting quite intense, and hopefully the communication style we've developed has helped us there.
Ben, I imagine you'd say this campaign, whatever happens in the finals, have been a success. I'm just wondering if you've received any assurances from Sir Jim on the next campaign and whether it's been enough to convince him of that.
Yeah, look, Jim and Ineos have been incredible backers of the team. Now, this is the second go-round. They've come in and given us huge support. Ultimately, they haven't made any commitments for the future. But, ultimately, as the leader of the team, I can tell you that whatever the result here, we're going to be continuing on. We've built a fantastic organisation over the last 10 years, and it's what an opportunity we've got coming up now, but also into the future, not just with the America's Cup team, but I think also really importantly the Athena Pathway programme with the youth and women. We've got some fantastic sailors in the UK, and I think this is just the start of a great future for the team.
Todd Nile from Stuff. To Peter, the team has said new sails, new appendages, new foils. How significantly different will the boat perform to when we last saw it?
Oh, we'll definitely be quicker than when you last saw us, but I'm sure Ben and the team Ineos will be exactly the same. They'll be quicker than when we last saw them. So, the America's Cup, I think, very famously is a race to win the last race, and one of the few sporting events where you have to win the last race to actually win it. And our team knows that all too well. And we're just looking forward to continuing to develop right to the end.
Matt Sheehan for Planet Sail. Question for Ben. All the way through this series, right from the beginning, the preliminary series, you and others talk about it being a path of development and constantly developing the boat. Now we're facing the Cup. One, is that development now finished? Is it what we see is what we get? And two, if that is the case, how hard has it been, given quite big fluctuations in the weather, to actually pin the tail on the donkey 5 days before and then go into this match?
Well, to answer one, no, the development's never finished. I mean, both these teams, when we get to the end of this final, will be significantly faster than when we went into it. It's just inevitable, and we've seen that, like you say, all the way through the competition. And yes, Mother Nature will have an impact on the outcome of this. I'm pretty sure of that. But the teams have known the win range for 3 years now, and the designers. I have to say, I'm always in awe of the designers of these boats, because as we saw in the Louis Vuitton final, we were right up against the wind limit, and the boats were right up against their limits. You know, the load sensors pinging off left, right, and centre, foils cavitating, but in most cases, the boat's held together. And again, that's credit to the designers, and it'll be a fascinating final in terms of the weather and just what a part that plays in it.
Pete, Louis here, SENZ Radio. Hey, I'm wondering, is there anything in your mind wondering if there'll be any race rust for your team? And was there anything from the defence in Auckland that you can bring forward this time to mean that when tomorrow comes about, you guys ping the gates and you're off and away?
Well, I think every time you race, you learn. Whether it's first America's Cup campaign I was involved in Bermuda, we'd learn a lot through that campaign. Obviously, had a massive competition with Luna Rossa for the America's Cup in Auckland, and you always take those things forward. Sports very much in evolution, where you're just kind of constantly trying to get better than you were the day before, and I think we take a lot into this from the learnings of the past, and hopefully that'll put us in good shape tomorrow.
Thanks. Question for Ben from The Guardian. I'm sure a lot of people back in the UK will just be sort of actually really becoming aware of what you're doing right now. And I was wondering, you spoke about the 10-year investment of time, the huge amount of money and resource that's gone into this. Could you just give us more of an idea of what your why is?
The why? Speaks for itself, doesn't it? The history of the Cup. And like I said at the beginning, Britain is a very proud sporting country, nation, and has a very proud maritime history. And this Cup is the one thing that is missing. That is the why.
Question for Ben. With the genesis of simulators and games like AC Sailing available to the public, what do you expect to happen in terms of skill levels of future talent in the sport as kids will start entering teams with hundreds of hours already behind the wheel?
Well, it's a great evolution of sports and the technology behind sports, and we've seen that with the Youth and Women's Cup, that a lot of these young sailors and female athletes have been able to get onto the AC40 and very quickly get up to speed, and that's what we want to see. We want to see the sport to be more accessible at the very highest level, which it now is and is becoming more so. It's really interesting, the technical development of these AC75 yachts and the automation of how the yachts are sailed. And at what point does automation become too much and the human interface is not as relevant as it should be? And I think we're probably getting close to that line, but it's been a fascinating development of this class of boat.
Hello, Francesca Frazza, Saili. So it was 3 years, they were packed. You guys just won the Louis Vuitton Cup, which was painful to watch as an Italian, but very well deserved. You guys are defending the Cup. I just want to know about the process that brought you here and how much you have developed as sailors, as people, in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I guess my journey started a little bit later into the team's sort of lineup. But I think we've seen, as has been touched on, the progression of these yachts from Auckland. We're taking off in less wind, we're going faster, and seeing VMGs around a race course, it's just unimaginable before. So I think it's all testament to the design and all the hard work that's gone on, but ultimately I think what's also fantastic has been the ability to throw the boats around in the pre-starts, and that's where we're really seeing the excitement and the progression.
Question to both teams. Do you see a woman being part of the America's Cup team in the next iteration?
I can't see why not. They've had an incredible opportunity to be sailing the AC40 this week, and they're doing a fantastic job. As you can look at the four of us, we don't have a whole lot of muscle on our arms, so definitely driving and trimming on these boats. There's no reason why females obviously can't do that. So I think what's been created in this America's Cup, having the Women's America's Cup and the Youth America's Cup in the AC40s is opened the door wide open for that. And, I'm sure something like that is going to happen very soon again.
I would say yes, but they have to prove it. And I think the great thing is with this Women's America's Cup that finally female athletes have the chance to prove that they can do it.
Question for Pete, very quickly. I've asked Ben this question, so I know his answer. What keeps you awake at night?
Yeah, for those that know me, I actually sleep pretty well. Daughter Paloma sometimes wakes me up at night, but I don't have too many problems sleeping, and I think for me at this stage it's a lot more of the excitement, and really seeing the culmination of so much hard work from so many people over this 3-year period, all coming together into a small competition, or small in terms of its amount of time, not in terms of the amount of effort. So it's amazing seeing it all come together and being able to be at the tip of that and lead it out onto the racecourse is really special.
Hi, Hilary Buckman from Ocean Media. I actually want to ask about the female and the youth sailing, and how much input have you had directly with the teams to help them assist in their journey?
We set up a new team really called the Athena Pathway Programme, specifically for the youth and women programme, and so they've been integrated through the senior team for the last 2 years. But not just the sailors, but also the shore team, the coaches, engineers. And so it's been a really fascinating process for us to see those youngsters and those females come through and be part of the program. And it's been really rewarding for both sides of the team, if you like. And we've got the Women's Cup going on today. Our British team are going well at the moment, Hannah Mills and the girls. So we're wishing them every best luck for all the way through to the final.
You, Pete?
Yeah, well, I think the youth and women's has been an absolutely amazing initiative for this America's Cup. It's been so cool to see the youth AC reintroduced. I actually competed in the youth AC in San Francisco. And then, to see the women out there having an amazing competition as well. Hopefully they managed to complete the round today. Big schedule, and hopefully the weather can play ball this afternoon. But it's just been such an amazing part of these programs, and to see the integration and be bouncing ideas off one another. And for us it's actually been amazing since the youth finished to see them kind of almost coming into our main team and helping lift our level there as well. So it's been really cool part of the program.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I know these teams have a lot of work to do ahead of tomorrow. We'll ask you to stay on stage for a photo with the trophy. But thank you very much for joining us. To our hosts and partners, once again, a very big thank you. And a reminder, racing kicks off tomorrow for the America's Cup from 2 p.m. Thanks for joining us.